Whatever black person says my favorite movie is Gone with the Wind, they need to sit down and talk to somebody and have their head examined.
The history of the Civil War is not reflected in that movie for me anyway.
The African-American audience often feels very conflicted. I mean, it can applaud the performance of Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind, but we are not really being given another kind of definition of these characters.
Come on in here! Come on!
I remember as a child cringing every time they came on screen. Every time they came on screen. Whether it was Hattie McDaniel, Oscar Polk.
Who's gonna milk that cow, Miss Scarlett? We's house workers.
Butterfly McQueen,
Captain Butler! Oh, Captain Butler! Captain Butler, you come out here in the streets to me!
What is it, Prissy?
Miss Melly! She done had her baby today.
Every time Butterfly McQueen or some of the lesser characters as slaves had a moment on screen.
Quitting time! Who says it's quitting time? I said it's quitting time. I was the foreman. I was the one says when it's quitting time at Terror. Quitting time!
It was like a fingernail going across the blackboard in Jaws. It was that way for me. All of them, you know, because of the roles that they played, because the characters that they played were so far away from any black person I had ever seen or had known. It wasn't until later on when Donald Bogle wrote his book and began to really analyze and put these performances in context that I began to, you know, see them in a different kind of light and began to really appreciate the artistry of the performances later on, with Hattie McDaniels, for instance.
Atlanta. Savannah would be better for you. You just get in trouble in Atlanta.
What trouble are you talking about?
You know what trouble I was talking about. I was talking about Mr. Ashley Wilkes. He'll be coming to Atlanta when he gets his leave, and you sitting there waiting for him just like a spider.
I've come to terms with the performances. I recognize now why Hattie McDaniel certainly deserved that Best Supporting Actress for her role.
It's Mr. Red I was worried about. He done lost his mind these last couple of days.
Oh, no, Mammy, no.
I ain't never seen no man, black or white, sit store on any child. When Dr. Meade say her neck broke, Mr. Red grabbed his gun and run out there and shoot that poor pony. And for a minute, I think he going to shoot himself.
Ruby Dee once said of Hattie McDaniel in Gone with the Wind, she said, McDaniel's coming from a real place. Because when you watch Gone with the Wind, Hattie McDaniel as Mammy, she's got a hostile edge, and there's something she's angry about. Of course, Gone with the Wind won't tell us that she's angry about having always to work for Ms. Scarlett, you know. She, you know, some contemporary viewers see it, black viewers, and they say they wish Mammy would take a rifle to Rhett and Scarlett, you know, but their Mammy supports the values and the virtues of this dominant culture.
Get out of the way, kid. Get away. Go on.
And when we see her early on in the film, the famous corset sequence.
Ooh! Just hold on and suck in.
And Scarlett's going to the Wilkes barbecue and so forth, and Scarlett won't eat. And Mammy wants her to eat.
Oh, now, Miss Scarlett, you come on and be good and eat just a little, honey.
No. I'm going to have a good time today.
And so she will threaten Scarlett and get Scarlett to eat, but it's still the character's going by the code of the Old South.
I told you that she can always tell a lady but the way that she eat in front of folks like a bird. And I ain't aiming for you to go to Mr. John Wilkins's and eat like a field hand and gobble like a hog.
Fiddle-dee-dee.
And Mammy threatens her. And Hattie McDaniel knows just what she's doing, and it's in the script, and she knows how to play it.
What gentleman says and what they thinks is two different things. And I ain't noticed Mr. Ashley asking for to marry you.
Now, we, the audience, knows, but the other characters in the film don't, but Mammy does know. Mammy is an all-knowing, all-seeing, all basically understanding character.
Miss Scarlett.
And I can remember when I first saw Gone with the Wind, and I was very much taken with Hattie McDaniel's performance, but I knew that, you know, there were things they weren't telling me. I said, well, you know, where does Mammy live? You know, does she go out to slave quarters at night? Does she have a room in the big house? What's the story here? What's her relationship with Prissy? And these other black characters we see, how does she feel about the war itself. And Gone with the Wind, I mean, the war is a backdrop for this love story, and it's a terrific love story. And so it's the Reconstruction period. But the black audience knows that there is something missing here.
See the good and the bad of the epic Southern love story Gone with the Wind, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of our spotlight on race in Hollywood, here on Turner Classic Movies.